Good morning. It is Wednesday, April 10th, and we're in the backyard at the moment, which is much more delayed than the front yard. We just don't get as much sun back here. It gets morning sun that is just starting to peek over the fence back there. I started a few seeds like a good solid month ago, and some of them are doing pretty well. Still learning how this all works, but what's interesting is that the Sweet William, I think that's what I've got here, is actually doing the best and has been very cold tolerant from what I've popped into the trays. So this coming year, there's going to be a difference in the backyard. Like, I'm not just going to be popping one plant here and one plant there, in addition to all of my tulips and daffodils. I want it to be a really full backyard with lots and lots of flowers. I have to remember to leave some paths. But a few things that you have even overwintered. I expected the pincushion, the Scabiosa fama, to overwinter, and it did. So let me show you what I've got. First thing is I popped a couple of Arabian Night Dahlia tubers into here, and then I threw what I think is my Sweet William around it. But we'll see what it is exactly. You know, it's a little early, so I'm bringing these in at night. Because it is still dipping down into the 20s and 30s at night. Got a few other seedlings here that will go out. These ones here are going to be salvia, I think. But let's take a look in the ground. Loving these little species, crocus. The bees love them. They absolutely adore them. I've got some hyacinths that are coming up here. There's a bunch of actually, I think these are going to be my Lady Jane tulips even that are coming up. They seem to be doing pretty well. A few other things that are just kind of popped in. There's muscari. There's a lot of tulips. There's some daffodils. Here, mostly what you're going to see in the middle part are the yellow hyacinths coming up. On either end, I did a little test of two different white hyacinths. One is Carnegie and one is White Ideal. But yeah, look at these, like back here where it's just cooler and wetter. The crocus just love it here, and the bees love the crocus. I have already sprayed this crabapple tree. I think it's called Silver Spring. It has little white flowers that come out, but I've already sprayed it with some fungal treatment to stop apple scab. We've got a few bushes back here. That'll be a burning bush. Some stuff that just overwintered in this little pot. I think that's Monarda or bergamot, we'll see. And then even a little tulip that I had missed. We've got the dappled willows. They were actually twins, this one and this one. I've already whacked this one back a whole lot, but this one had an extra year in the backyard and it just goes wild because it gets a ton of water. This one here was dying in the front yard, so I moved it in the back. But it ends up just getting the prettiest little leaves that are dappled throughout the year. Oh, let's see, a black tower, elderberry. This is supposed to be a goat's beard that's going to grow back there, but this is fun. This is my leave it alone little back art. It's in a back corner that the sun is coming from right over there. And so this gets it gets more sun as the spring goes on. But this is basically what I had planted like 3 years ago, and I'm just seeing what comes back and how it comes back. Mount Hood daffodils, Tacoma tulips, they did not come back so well in it. I had also planted a bunch of Muscari latifolium, which I love because it's like the little grape hyacinth, but it has a tulip-like leaf instead of the weedy type of leaves. That might actually be this one here. I had put a bunch in and only one came back last year. You can see what's going strong here. The daffodils are definitely coming up first. There are some hyacinth coming here. There's these beautiful little crocus that I can actually see from my upstairs windows too. These are going to be probably, like I had sprinkled some seeds in here too. But I haven't put any more tulips or daffodils in here. What I did that first summer was I put in some lily bulbs, and I've put in gladiolus corms too. So other than that, like whatever comes up here is going to be year 3 of whatever I had put in the first place. And it was a row of pink impression tulips in the back. There were some Tahiti daffodils. I think the apricona and the apricot beauty came back last year, but as I said, the Mount Tacoma and the I think Mount Hood, a couple of them just didn't really come back at all after the first year. So this is just definitely a hardiness test. All right, we'll see what happens this year. You know, this little corner here starts getting the sun earlier than the other pieces, so I think that these pink impression in the back, this is just like the first wave to come up. I think we will see more. There's one little one in the back there. But yeah, I mean, this just so cheerful. What's always interesting too, like this here looks like it's one of the hyacinths that split or had a little baby. But as they start coming up, their leaves on the tulips as well can be quite red because they haven't gotten sunlight, and then they will green up fairly nicely and well. Let's see. Let's just show one more thing back over here. These are, I think I've got some astilbe going back here. You can see a few things coming up from just some roots that I had shoved in the ground. There's another one. You know, trying to find some shade plants because this can get very shady. This can stay very shady all year. Alrighty, let's see. Moving on back. I put a lot more tulips in this year because last summer was so wet and soggy that I think a lot of them just rotted out. Got this little set of rocks there for hopefully some insects will like it back there. Some more daffodils. Yeah, look at that. Oh, I love these little crocus. All right, let's see. Oh, a few things that have overwintered. Yeah, you can see these are some pincushion flowers, the scabiosa. Got more things coming up back there. Ooh, I gotta be careful where I step because I just planted this like thick border back there. But that looks like one of those Chianodoxa squills. And some crocus just plopped under the tree there. You can see some more. Oh, fun. Okay, so last year in May we just had horrible hail all year long, and it just decimated everything back here. But these are tulips that have the variegated foliage. You can see the pink foliage on the sides. Just so much fun. These here should end up being a double hyacinth, a double dark blue hyacinth that is called Royal Navy. Back over here you can see some of the leaves that are coming up on some of these others are going to be the striped foliage. Yeah, it's just going to be fun. There's going to be a bunch that comes up. All right, and then lastly, just some little pots that ended up having some things that overwintered. Okay, over here. For last year, I had a bunch of Byzantine gladiolus and iris that that came up and were very pretty. I don't think any of them made it, but we'll see. That's going to be a surprise, whether any iris or Byzantine, kind of a pink gladiolus that is just like a couple of little flowers, very pretty. But the rest of the stuff is coming up really nicely. We've got daffodils. You can see some what's probably allium foliage as well. A few things that overwintered as well that I had just plopped in here. Some of them are scabiosa. Way in the back here, you can see a few things that definitely are overwintering, even some just some little snapdragons. Yeah, this one here might be that bergamot. I need to use this. I use this little app called it's called like Plant Finder, and it tells me what some things are. But yeah, I mean, we are gonna have flowers, and this whole garden back here is one that I plant things in that I want to cut, or that just are extra, or that I'm just tossing in, because it's hard to decide sometimes what do you cut and what do you not cut. And after last year's bloodbath of hail for a month, that just every time I think that we were safe again, there would just be more death and destruction. So this year, when I see something I like, I'm just going to cut it. All right, going in for a little close up here. just on some fun stuff. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye.